Okay, it must have been springtime 1977. I was working as an apprentice engineer in a factory in South Nits Hill, and one of the other apprentices had said to me, "You need to go and see this band in the Doune, playing Thursday night. They're amazing, you'll love it." And in the factory, I never really knew that many other apprentices. The engineering bit I was the only one. All the other apprentices were plumbers or welders. This guy, John Flanagan, was a welder. So I felt quite privileged at the fact this guy had spoke to me even, because I had no pals in there. All of my buddies were old men. Anyway, I decided to go down and see what was going on. So I ended up in there with my big cousin Ian. And we're at the back of the room, because it was packed at the back, directly looking at the stage, and it was just a good buzz. There was a real buzz about the place. He and I were a wee bit smokied out, had a wee puff, as he would say. And the first thing I would have reported back to Donnie would have been, they've got lights and they've got a sound guy. They kind of check out stuff and survey the situation. Anyway, the intro tape started. You knew it was an intro tape, but just kind of, the volume went up, and I think it was Trans-Europe Express. And I looked over in the corner, and at the corner of the kind of back door, the band came in. Brian McGee was first. I didn't know who they were at the time. I just saw this guy coming in with dark glasses on. They were kind of 1970s droopy ones, you know, Ray-Bans. And what looked like a German kind of officer's hat. And he walked out, and that track, ching, 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 it's really got a determination. They marched out towards around the perimeter of the venue and along the front and onto the stage with the band all behind them. And then the whole thing took off. It was pretty frantic. And I was looking at Big Ian thinking, eyebrows raised. Ian was coming off the back of kind of being a fan of another band, a pal of yours, Joe's, who used to be our bass player, called Manassas Beach, and they were funky. And Ian had a whistle, and he had his crash helmet at the time as well. So he had his crash helmet on and his whistle banging his head against the back wall. It probably looked too intimidating for him to say, "You need to stop this, calm down, big man." But it was really quite frantic, and Jim looked like a kind of manic, kind of psycho kind of look about him. He really looked like he was possessed. And at certain points of the set, he would come onto the tables. The tables ran sort of vertical to the stage in long benches. And Jim would jump up on that, and with a microphone, and singing like really in your face. And it was quite scary. I could see the manager, Stavros or whatever his name was, coming with his head at the door, looking about, thinking, is this going to kick off soon? And people would be kind of saving their drinks off the table as Jim was kind of staggering about, really. If he kind of slipped, he would do that move where he kind of tried to make it look graceful and turn it into a sort of ballet move. Anyway, it was really, Ian and I were blown away, obviously, even just looking at each other. It was obvious the whistle thing wasn't working with this kind of music. It was just annoying more than anything else. God, I missed the big bastard. And by the end of that, as it started to fizzle down, you could see it was coming to the end. It flew by. They were obviously doing a track that I later found it was pleasantly disturbed. And the whole thing about the sound generally for me was really, and I probably analyse things too much when I go to music events because I'm a musician, and I should just review it as a whole noise rather than picking out things. But I did pick out the bass sound. The bass sounded like really big, bouncy, round sound, like I don't know, I mean, obviously it was a Rickenbacker, and I knew about Rickenbacker. It was a cool instrument, I mean, it made Tony look really cool, despite the fact of the diverse look of this lot. Tony wasn't the coolest looking, but that night he was cool as fuck. He was really good. It was that and the tom-toms with the drum, and that whole hypnotic boom, 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 boom. Just amazing. We were blown away, and we left kind of in silence.